Good morning, everybody. My name is Staff Sergeant Haran. I tried to install a kitchen cabinet myself on the wall, and the entire thing fell on my head. Have you ever thought about the details that come in with do-it-yourself home remodeling or kitchen projects? I want to discuss tips and tricks and installation requirements that you need when remodeling your house or your kitchen. Let's start talking about some tips and tricks. You always want to have a clean construction zone. You want it clear of debris, clean walls, clean floors. The reason for that is stepping on a nail. That's not safe and that's going to hurt. Any pebbles or rocks that can get into things that could just dirty everything, you don't want to have to constantly be picking up after that. So always have a clean construction zone. It also creates a safe environment. Utilizing a tool belt. This can save you so much time because all of your tools that you need are right here. Whether you're up high on a ladder or you're just on a roof, everything can be custom and can be tailored to whatever project that you're working on. It's also easily accessible and promotes more organization. Something else you want to keep in mind, proper lighting, which, as you can see, my ceiling fan right there. Proper lighting is so important because if you make a wrong measurement on anything and that goes to a saw and gets cut, you may have to repeat that again, and at this point you're wasting resources. And a rule of thumb, measure twice, cut once. And it also decreases fatigue. Have you ever read a book at nighttime before bed and you have the lights really dim and you actually end up falling asleep with the book in your hand? Just the dim light makes you feel warm and cozy, and you end up falling asleep and putting the book down. You don't want that kind of sensation in a construction zone. You want to be alert, awake, and oriented and moving around. So always have proper lighting. I want to now talk about installing kitchen cabinets, meaning the cabinets that are on the wall and on the floor. Let me get my rubric here. We want to have at least 2 people, and the reason for that are the wall cabinets are pretty heavy and they're just kind of bulky shaped. Having 2 people gives you that extra support and it promotes good body mechanics. We also want to utilize a level on every angle, shape, or form. The reason for that is walls aren't perfect, but you want your cabinets to be. You can do that if you use a level upways against the cabinet, on top, and even underneath. You want those to be as level as possible because when it comes time for counters to be installed, you don't want your counters breaking because you installed the cabinets incorrectly. You also want to always drill into a stud when it comes to installing cabinets. If you were to screw a cabinet into drywall and then put the shelves on it and put your glasses on it, I wouldn't even bet you 2 minutes that thing is coming down, breaking, shattering, all your glass is broken. It's just not stable. Drywall isn't stable. Stud is wood. That's what you want to screw it into. And with installing cabinets, there are hinges on the doors that you want to adjust by hand. Even if your cabinets are a little bit off, you're going to notice that. You can fix that actually. You want to use like a hand screwdriver. You don't want to use a power tool when it comes to this because you can end up stripping it. But if you screw it by hand, you can move it ever so up or ever so down or to the left or to the right so that your doors, when they shut, are even. That's what you want. When you are also installing a cabinet next to another cabinet next to another cabinet, there's something called a C-clamp that keeps your cabinets together while you are screwing these into the drywall. Literally looks like a C and it tightens on your cabinets for you. compresses them together really tight so that when it's all screwed in and you take the C-clamp off, your cabinets aren't coming apart in any way, shape, or form, and they stay together. I now would like to talk to you guys about creating a load-bearing wall in the event you wanted to put a refrigerator inside of a load-bearing wall. I did this myself, and I'm going to explain to you how to, well, my husband did it actually, but I'm going to explain to you how we did it together. First thing we did is we went to Home Depot and Lowe's and we got the proper lumber. That is very important. You can't just go out and buy any type of wood and expect the same result. You are now going to, let me get my rubric out here, create a door frame in the wall. What that means is on your exterior walls in your home where there is a door, that's actually a load-bearing wall, meaning the ceiling, or excuse me, the roof is dependent on it. If that comes out, your roof will cave in. That is what I'm referencing when I'm talking about the inside. We're gonna make a frame that would be a door, but we're actually gonna slide a fridge into it. The first thing you're gonna do is determine where your king studs are at. A king stud is 2 studs, boom, nailed together. And they go from the floor all the way down to the ceiling, all the way up to the ceiling, excuse me. That is a king stud. That means that is load bearing. If you take that sucker out, that roof is coming down. What we want to do is identify our king studs and almost like we're adding to it. You're adding another stud to it to provide extra support, and you do this by hammering just with nails or with a screwdriver, or excuse me, a drill. You could use that. Drill those in together and keep those in place. This will prevent them from moving left or right or even like bowing or falling apart. The next that you want to create is the top of the door, which is really just 2 pieces of wood sandwiched together in between your 2 studs. Once you've added on to your king studs and you've created a top piece, you now have an imaginary door frame in which you can get 2 people, proper body mechanics, to slide the fridge in. Once you slide the fridge in, step back, take a look at your walls. Is everything even? Nothing's coming down, then you're probably fine. We did ours correct the first time with lots of YouTubing, and our fridge looks great. I wish I could show you guys photos. Last thing I'm gonna go over with you is vinyl flooring and how to install the planks for it. We got ours from Home Depot, and the first thing I'm gonna talk about is inspecting them. You wanna take them out of the box immediately because so many of them come damaged. Even the slightest little chip can ruin things later on in life. If someone a little bit heavier set steps on the floor, that lip is going to break. Any damaged pieces, toss them. I know it sucks. You spent your money on it, toss it. You want to ensure that your floor is level. As homes age, things naturally settle and the floor starts to get uneven. You can fix this actually. Something called floor leveler. It's basically a very soupy concrete liquid that you can pour directly on your floor, and you just smooth it out and it dries almost instantly. This can make your floors a lot more even when it comes time to actually put the flooring down. You want to constantly sweep this area as well, because any little debris getting underneath your floor can actually pop the lip and make it break. Then you're really in a pickle. You also want to ensure that you have a runner. What a runner is a person that runs from the saw to the construction zone all day long. The saw person should not leave. They should just be cutting all day long. This saves so much time. Having someone do that kind of hard work for you, everyone can stay put. Essentially, you have the people on the floor installing the wood and your person at the saw cutting the pieces. You also want to start from one corner and then work your way down, doing 1 row at a time, so that way you don't have to go back and backtrack. So what we discussed today is tips and tricks on how to install cabinets, how to install flooring, how to make a load-bearing wall, all sorts of amazing do-it-yourself stuff. With looking at the bigger picture, learning these projects can motivate you to do more, and it is so much time saving, and you save so much money versus having to have a contractor come out and pay someone to do all of this when you could really learn how to do it yourself. And why not try and do it yourself? Why not? It's your home, it's your domain. You should be able to do whatever you want to it. Does anyone have any questions?